Hey, Picks and Parlay family, it's me, Detroit Lenny, here with a free Bet Win Repeat show. I almost said free pick video. But we're not doing those. Not right now. That's later. I am Detroit Lenny with Picks and Parlay. This is Bet Win Repeat. Today we will have Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room joining us. We will also have Ross Benjamin joining us as well. So that's always a fun time. You know how Tuesdays work. Ross is always good for a laugh. And always dropping good information as well, obviously. That's why we keep having him on. So he's doing really well as far as free plays given out on the show. And Nick Parsons. Obviously, the Insiders Room, we love having him on because that's always some good stuff. So I'm going to go over a little bit of a contest update as well. Don't forget, guys, real quick, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You'll never miss any of Picks and Parlays. Live content, free pick videos, anything like that. If you're looking for contests, like I'm about to mention right here, go to facebook.com/group/Picks and Parlays contest. That's all you got to do to join up. So let's give a quick contest update real quick. This is the weekly contest. The weekly contest starts, actually it's $200 this week. So edit that, the guy that did that. Edit that. It's $200 prize. These people on this page are competing for $200. I should maybe I'll do it like this. Maybe no, make it bigger. I'm trying to make it bigger. I don't know. That's what you do. Screenshot it, zoom in. I don't know what to tell you. You should be able to see that. This is the weekly prize. That's every Monday. Every Monday there's a contest, minus 130 or better. Juice, you got to take a screenshot with it so we can see that the actual juice is that way. We had close to almost 90 people this week on the rollover. This is $200. I know it says $100. That's my bad. The graphic is wrong because it's a rollover. So every week we put $100 in the pot on Monday. Everybody joins. You go to last person left. Basically last man standing type situation. These are the people that are in. There's 22 still in. They got all their stuff right yesterday. I was at 22. We got to do better. I'm not in. Edmonton Oilers, I was on the wrong side of that, which serves me right because I was on VGK. I'm on VGK for the series. I have the series bet as Vegas Golden Knights. So it serves me right to try and pick apart a game. I lost that. When I lost that game, when Edmonton scored and was up 1-0, I knew I was screwed. I don't know. Just so you guys know. But then I had to go to a choir concert. And when I went to the choir for my daughter's choir concert, and then I got out of the concert and I didn't want to get in any trouble with my wife because I don't want none of that smoke. So I didn't want to be the guy, in the corner in the bleachers on his phone, right? So I'm listening. She did really well. It's the last choir concert of the year. School's getting out a couple weeks. So, and I looked at my phone. I saw it was 5-1 VGK, and I went, FTK, man. FTK. But there's 22 people. These are the people that are in it. Tate, Sean Off, the regulars. I ain't even going to lie. There's a couple new names up in here. Some names glad to see back in the contest. I haven't seen in a couple weeks. Some of them, I'm trying to think. I saw some new people in there in the contest, but these are the people that made it through to day 2. Tate, Sean, Dave Tokarski, Chris Scott, Tim T Time, him and Eddie E. Lance been battling. They lost the last week on Saturday, and now they're battling for the rollover, and they're still back in it after. I'm telling you, if you're not following these guys' picks on the contest page, you're not making no money. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I got this cough thing, but the sinuses are driving me nuts, so I apologize if my voice is a little cracky. I'm not going through puberty, I promise. Maybe I am again. I don't know. Do you do that? Is that I know women go through menopause. Do men just have midlife crisis? So I'm supposed to buy a convertible? I already married a hotter, younger girl. So I got to buy a convertible. My voice is going to change. This is great. Tim T Time, Eddie Lance, Marie Lance, the Lance family makes money. Troy Cabral, I don't know. I'm not pronouncing your name right, so I'm sorry. Kind of. Danny Daniels, Alan Miles, Jeff Bradley, Rodney Molina Piama from Pedro Moore in the house. Pedro Pimentel in the house. Silky Man, Jason Fellers, Mark Andrews, Ezekiel Morales, Juan Miguel, Al White, and Becky Rubel Hoffman. I know I'm not saying that right. It sounds like I would say it right, but it's not right. Somebody check Tate's picks too, by the way. You know how he is. But man, I'll tell you one day, Tate's going to fly to Vegas and kick my ass just because I mess with him so much. But I'm trying to think here. What else we got going on here? If you don't know already, the Parlay Party has dropped. I put that out there. Parlay Party right before this show started. I dropped that on the YouTuber channel, and it's in the Picks and Parlay contest page. It's in the group page. I shared it there already. There's some good plus money action. I like both dogs in hockey. I like them both. And I like a lot of baseball. I'm on a lot of baseball today. Wednesday's my good day. I've been tracking this here since the beginning of the year. And what I've been doing is tracking not just how my record is kind of per sport, but I'm also checking my record per day and breaking it down. And the analytics into that, because I'm really, we've said this before. All the time, handicap your handicappers. Well, I'm handicapping my handicapping. And that's the only way I feel I can get better at it. And that's obviously the goal, is to make more money. That's why we do it. So I'm handicapping my handicapping, and I'm finding out that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday's my best day. Let's just say that. Tuesday's a good day. Thursday, Friday have good days. Monday's my absolute worst day. Everything else is kind of, it's good. Could improve. Wednesday, I'm phenomenal. I shouldn't say that. Knock on everything. Because now tomorrow, fade me tomorrow, because now I'm talking all kinds of shit about Wednesday and how great I am. Absolutely fade me tomorrow. But today, the boys going to make some money. Haven't dropped the Parlay Party since last Wednesday. We had some tough technical difficulties of how it was posting, stuff like that. So we're working on getting that. So I've got to work around. And boom, I'm just throwing it out there. Little Parlay Party. What are you guys into today? What are we into today? That's my question. What are you guys into? Drop in the chat what you're into today. Any questions you might have for Ross, Nick. Ross should be here in a few minutes. Nick will be here. I think Nick Parsons comes a little bit later. Hope Ross got the email. Did I send him a link, guys? Nobody reminds me to do this. You guys are terrible. Ross is probably sitting around going, where's this damn link? If he texts me, then we'll know. Because he texted me what free plays he had for you guys today. He's got 2, and they're damn good. And I like both of them. That's what I like. Terry's in the timeout right now. There's Ross. Okay, he'll be here in a minute. That's fine. But Terry's big mad about the NHL draft last night. So and I watched Twitter. Somebody posted on Twitter about because the Red Wings have made the playoffs like 50 million years in a row, right? And then they didn't make the playoffs last couple of years. I think since 2017 or something like that, like six years, whatever. Anyways, they never moved up in their spot for the NHL lottery. Never. Like if they're supposed to pick 8, they never move up. Like this year, 9, we stayed right at 9. I don't want to say anything, but like we don't even move back. Like, I mean, we just never ever move up. So they gave it to the Chicago Blackhawks, whatever. It is what it is. They still suck. I said it, Blackhawks fans. Because I'm from Detroit, and we don't think anything in Chicago is good, not even the pizza. So we're going to bring Ross Benjamin in here because he's the man, the myth, the legend. As always, Ross Benjamin is talking a lot of shit to Chicago right now.
Yeah, man, you don't even like the pizza there.
I don't even like the damn pizza. That's what I'm telling them. I don't even.
There you go. That's hitting the Chicago fans stabbing them right in the heart when you make that.
And Tate's a good friend, and he's a friend of the program, friend of the show, all that. Yeah. He's a Michigan fan, so I'm a State fan, so we already butt heads. I don't know how we're friends. He's a Michigan fan, I'm a State fan. He's a White Sox fan, I'm a Tiger fan. He's a Bears fan, I'm a Lions fan. we're just like apples and oranges, and you put it together, add some vodka, and it's a good drink.
Yeah, and then you could always end that statement by saying it's only a game.
Yeah, it is. It's only a game. I would by far, without a doubt, share a beer with this man any day of the week, and watch sports and talk a lot of trash. I mean, one of the other guys in here, Rickett, he's an Ohio State fan. That's even worse. But I have shared a beer with this guy. But the he's heating up. He's on fire. Yeah, I know, right?
How about them Detroit Tigers, buddy?
Listen, I don't want to.
I remember your statement last week. It says, "Here's my best bet: bet against the Tigers on every game." Well, they've won 6 of the last 7, Leonard.
Listen, I'm going to keep saying that. And if I have to personally fund the Tigers World Series run by betting against them, I will do that.
Reverse psychology.
I'm that kind of fan. It's I don't have a problem throwing a $20 bill on every game against them just so they'll win. I will donate. I will do my part as a Tiger fan. Folks, I'm just saying, whatever works. We reverse jinx whatever way we can. I was just telling everybody how I've been breaking down my handicapping, Ross, and handicap the handicappers. I'm handicapping my handicapping, which everybody should do.
Yes.
And I'm trying to get a little bit more detailed and intricate into it, like per sport. I mean, I already know football is my best sport. I already know that. NBA is my worst. I'm really good at hockey, and baseball keeps me afloat through the summer. That's just how that works. But I'm kind of breaking it down to by day, what day I have been doing better on. And I figured out that Wednesday is my best day. And I was just telling everybody to fade me tomorrow, because now that I've said that out loud into the universe, I'm screwed. But do you do that? Do you break down?
I always try to keep track of not days of the week, Lenny, more than if I'm on a roll. Like right now, my NBA sides, money line / point spread picks. I'm 23-10 in the postseason so far. And then I look at my totals so far in the preseason, and they're like 3-6 or 3-7. So, when you promote, you always want to mention that, but by the same token, in your own mind, hey, you might want to stick what's working for you, right? Even though you don't want to admit it, you may be better at sides than totals, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Now, we both know that next week I could be telling you I hit my last 7 totals, but
the roller coaster.
To answer your question, yes, I do break it down in that regard.
That's the roller coaster we ride, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we're up, down, but our dear friend Sean Higgs told me I think it was football season, at the end of the football season. And I told him, I said, Sean, I don't know what it is. I'm not a big NFL or football total guy. You brought up totals and size.
Yeah,
not a big total guy, but I was betting some and I was having really good run of totals. And he said, Lenny, sometimes, and I'll never forget that he goes, sometimes you just see the board different. And when you see it, don't question it. Just keep running with it. Because you know what I mean? Kind of thing. And I did. And I ran right through that NFL season. And I trusted myself and how I was seeing it. And I had one of the best NFL seasons of my life.
There you go.
I mean, I attribute that to my handicapping, because in years past, I would have kept doing just what I've been doing and didn't break down if I was better on totals or sides. And then last year I did that. And by doing that, I figured out where I was seeing the board better and kind of running with that. So look at me. I'm like,
well, you know what? I mean,
I'm like Ross Benjamin Jr.
There's nothing wrong with being like Ross Benjamin. Obviously, unless you talk to my wife. So you know how that goes.
Yeah, don't talk to our wives about this stuff.
Anyway, Sean's a wise man. He is a dear friend, and he's an excellent handicapper, and he's 100% correct in everything he told you, in my estimation. So you can never go wrong by following Sean's advice. Not only is Sean a great handicapper, he's a great person as well.
Tate wants me to know that if gone too far by commenting on his pizza, and that's too far Tim Earl stopping by to say what's up to the GOAT, Ross Benjamin. And then
hello, how are you?
This is by far our best comment of the day. 110 days till college football.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. That makes me happy, folks.
I don't say that because people around here, as you know, when you grew up in Michigan, you start wishing for football season in May, and people look at you cross-eyed and say, we only get a few months out of the year that's nice weather-wise. So
yeah.
But between me and you, my days of laying out by the pool and laying on the beach are over. So I can't wait for football either.
For when in Detroit, when you heard somebody start talking about 100 days till football, this, that, or whatever, the countdown, it meant the Tigers are bad. That's what it meant. It meant the Tigers sucked that bad that you didn't have anything else to do, that you just hurry up with football. So,
or the other part of the equation makes people forget is Detroit Red Wings, all those postseason runs they made in their heyday over the last 2 decades. Not recently, obviously, but they're playing into June, and the season gets done, and the Lions are going to be in training camp in another 4 weeks, right? Kind of thing. So
I'm ready, Ross. If Sheila Ford needs me, I'm gonna have to tell Craig Trapp I'm gonna need some time off because I'm making a move to Michigan there to help out Dan Campbell in the training camp. There
you go. I love Dan Campbell. I told you that a million times. I
don't know who. I've never heard a bad thing about who doesn't like Dan Campbell. He's he's
infectious, right?
Yeah, he's a fans kind of coach.
Yes.
There's some days I've watched some games and I went, Dan, I don't know what the hell you're doing. And then there's some days I'm like, oh, that's my coach, So
but you know what? The Lions, for the first time in a long time, are taking on the identity of their coach, which he's a hard ass. There's no two ways about it, but he's also a very emotional guy too. So he's got that mix that fans love. And look, they improved dramatically last year. And I picked them as one of my sleeper teams this year in the NFC to make the playoffs. So, again, we discussed this 2 weeks ago or so. Their win total alone, the regular season win total at 9.5 tells you right there what the sports books think, or the odds makers think, So when was the last time you saw their regular season win total that high? I don't know if not in recent memory anyway, right?
This wasn't as gray. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I was able to grow a beard. The last time the win total was 9.5 or better.
So what did the Red Wings? Where'd they end up in the draft lottery?
The same place as if the lottery didn't happen.
Oh, that's right. You were saying that.
Yeah, we don't move up. We don't move back. The last 7 years, I think. Since we haven't made the playoff in I think it's 6-7 years now in a row, and which is it's heartbreaking as a Wings fan because I didn't know a life without us making the playoffs. I really didn't. Growing up, we late 80s. I became when I was younger, 70s, 80s. They were still the dead Wings.
Yeah, they were. It was lean times then.
It was bad, and then late 80s, early 90s, it got real good, and then since then, it's just been my adult life.
Yeah, right. You get spoiled, right, Lenny? It's like
100%.
Being a Western New York native here was like us going to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. It's like the 5th year came along. What do you mean we're not in the Super Bowl, man? I'm used to this.
We're always there.
Yeah, exactly. And I haven't been back since, So
I always used to tell people the Wings, the Lions suck so bad because the Wings are so good.
Yeah.
I go, God won't let us have everything. So we gotta, it's one or the other. So now I'm hoping the Pistons are bad. The Wings are rebuilding. The Tigers, I don't know, yet to be determined. The Lions are going to be the pretty girl.
Yeah, that AL Central's wide open, man.
You
stop and think about it. Minnesota, I guess you could say they're a favorite, but they're not. They're not knocking anybody's socks off right now.
Not even
the White Sox are horrible. And who's the other one?
Kansas City.
I'm sorry.
Kansas City.
The
Royals, yeah.
Right there you go.
Royals and the Guardians.
Look, they keep playing, hanging in there. You never know. They can hang in this race for a while. And the more the year goes on and the better they do, the more confidence. And it's a young ball club. Problem is with Detroit, as I see it, is their pitching, but it's been vastly improved over the last week. So let's see what happens, Lenny. It's a long season, right?
A long season. I'm not going to try and get excited to them till end of June. You know what I mean?
What it might come down to is their head-to-head matchups with Minnesota.
Cleveland
because,
and White Sox. Yeah.
I mean, the White Sox, I mean, they got no excuse. The White Sox are not the White Sox of years past. Their pitching's terrible. They're starting to hit now, but prior to recently, they haven't hit all year. So,
Tate doesn't like you talking about his White Sox too much. Now, horrible is a strong term. Let's say growing. No, Tate, your White Sox suck. Okay.
Well, let me rephrase that, Tate. They're a horrible team right now. Yeah, although they, I went against them on Sunday with Cincinnati, and they crushed Cincinnati 17-4. So who knows? So horrible is a strong word.
I picked them to win the division. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing with my life. See how that's worked out for me.
I got a couple free picks, buddy.
Let's talk about that. I know you got some stuff going on in the NBA in the Celtics game, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct, sir.
What do you got going on there?
Well, I'm going to look at their team total tonight, which is 110.5. I think that's a pretty inviting number when you consider everything revolving around the Celtics and playing at home. Playing at home being the key. I mean, look, this is a team in Boston that has scored 111 points or more in 39 of 46 home games this season. 39 of 46. That's 84.8% of the time the Celtics have played at home. They've scored 111 or more. And reminding you again, right now it's at 110.5. Okay. The other part of that equation, Lenny, all 5 of their home playoff games they've scored exceeded that 111 or more. In all 12 of their all 9 of their postseason games, home or away, they've scored 112 or more. They've averaged 120 points per game at home this season, including close to 117 in the postseason at TD Garden, and a Philadelphia team that's allowed 111 points on average on the road this season. I don't know. I mean, this to me looks like a steal. So I'm going to go Boston Celtics over their team total of 110.5 tonight. Okay.
Tate's locking it in right now, even though we don't like Chicago pizza. He's locking that in. So I don't mind that because this is game 5, right? This is game 5. Series tied 2-2. They're in Boston. Celtics want to get, obviously they don't want to lose this game going back to Philly, down. So they want to go up 3-2. It means they got to ball out, I think. And I don't hate that. Celtic. And see, I don't like to do totals in the NBA, but I do like team totals. I don't want to rely on the other team. So that's why I like this one in particular. And I know you said you had
a Major League Baseball team total as well. The Toronto Blue Jays and the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. Couple of pitchers that are not living up to expectations in Alek Manoah and Aaron Nola of Philadelphia. However, I'm going to concentrate on the Toronto team total here. Look, Toronto over their last 8 games averaging a little over 6 runs and 10 hits per contest. They've scored 4 or more runs in 7 of their last 8. Philadelphia in their last 6 is allowing 8.2 runs per game, and they've allowed 4 runs or more in 6 of their last 7 games. So interesting side notes there. And then Toronto is coming off the 3-game sweep over the Pittsburgh Pirates on the road, in which they scored 22 runs in those 3 games. So Toronto has scored 4 runs or more in 25 of 35 games this season. That's over 71% of the time. And Aaron Nola right now has been struggling. You look at his numbers, and he's a lot better pitcher than what he showed so far. 4.64 ERA. Who knows? Things like that happen. Guys get off the bad starts. But here's the other thing. The Philadelphia bullpen continues to be a problem, Lenny. Even last year when they went to the playoffs, they got a little bit hot at the end, But overall, if you look at Philadelphia's bullpen statistics over the last few years, and specifically this year, over their last 7 games, their ERA is over 7. And on the year, their ERA is over 5. So I'm going to go with Toronto here. You're going to lay a premium price here, Lenny.
Okay.
Over 3.5 minus 142. And you know me, I very seldom like to enter that money line 140 or above, but there's always an exception to the rule, and this is going to be one for me. So Toronto over 3.5 runs scored at money line odds of 142.
I like that. I'm on the over for the whole game.
Yeah.
So at 9. So excuse me. I like that 3.5, 4. I could see. I don't hate the Blue Jays getting 4 or 5. You know, I don't hate. I don't know how else to say that.
Well, I mean, unless Nola wakes up tonight, right? You know what I mean? And you never know when he's going to snap out of it and go on one of his runs where he gives up 3 earned runs over his last 5 starts. But I go by, in baseball, numbers mean everything to me. And there's a reason why it's so analytically driven in term, even when it comes to managers making daily decisions on their lineup. So, I mean, right now the numbers show me that Nola's not pitching well and her bullpen's not pitching well. And you got a team in Toronto that's hitting very well. So that combination, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to add that together. That's why I kind of went with the over. I looked at Alex Manoah and I looked at I honestly, it was Aaron Nola for me. And I'm like, you know, I don't think today's the day that he gets right. When he does get right, I'll get on that bandwagon. Yes. Till then, though,
and you know, Lenny, I always say this, you know, when you got a guy like Nola and you say he's due, well, that's similar to trying to catch an inside straight in poker. You're having tough luck all day, right? I'm due to catch a break here. Can you catch an inside straight in poker on the
you can.
The last card? Yeah, absolutely. But the probability is low, you know. So again, we work with probabilities in baseball.
Yeah, we need that for sure. We need that. We need the river card sometimes come through. So Ross, man, I appreciate you coming in and dropping knowledge on us on Tuesdays. We appreciate it. I'll tell you what, I know these guys do. We talk about it all the time on our group page there and stuff like that about this show and different cappers coming on. And you're the GOAT for a reason, my friend. And
I appreciate it. And I appreciate you having me, Lenny. And just a friendly reminder over at picksandparlays.net, my NBA postseason sides have 23-10 this year. That's 70%. My NBA since April the 12th, all picks in the NBA, 25-15. That's good for 63%. I got both winning sides in both games tonight. You can get them right now at Picks and Parlays, $35, and you have to win or you get your money back. So a lot of good things happening. And Lenny, I always appreciate joining you for 15, 20 minutes a week.
I appreciate it, my friend. Don't forget, if you're over at picksandparlays.net, you're looking for Ross Benjamin's premium plays, use this promo code MLB. Save you 20% off the entire site. We appreciate you, Ross, man. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, buddy.
Look forward to it, and thank you, Lenny.
Take care. All right, guys, we're not done. We're not done. We're just getting started. Now we got the Buffalo connection. Now we're gonna take our talents to. I wanted to go South Beach, but this is the opposite of that. It's Canada. Nick Parsons, the Insider's Room. We're going the other way. So if you're in South Beach, head north
and west.
And then when you get north, head west. There you go. Nick Parsons, how we doing, my friend?
Fantastic. Yeah, no, it's a great time of year for everyone. And I was just listening in to the end there on Ross and everything, and a couple of my plays tied into some of his analysis there. So looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, and I know you got a lot going on in the NBA when we talked earlier. Let's just start there. Playoffs. Sure. We got 2 games tonight. Ross had mentioned he likes the Celtics team total over. And I'm on the board with that. What else you like today?
Yeah, and I mean, even just overall in the NBA, I mean, overall for us, for the Insider's Room, it's been another great year. It's a carryover from last year, from one of our best seasons of all times. So go check out the long-term leaderboards over at picksandparlays.net, people. It's always a great resource, a great tool to check out and research all of those numbers. And the Insiders Room is all over those leaderboards. But yeah, I digress, Lenny. I think the West is really interesting. When we look at where we are right now, there's no clear favorite, really. As of recording this, it feels like it's, it's either going to be the Lakers, the Nuggets, or the Suns. And from the East, it's also wide open. You mentioned Miami there. I mean, Miami perhaps now one of the favorites to come out of the East with how well it's come together here in the playoffs. The insane play of Jimmy Butler has really galvanized that team. And I've always said that momentum in sports, and especially in the playoffs, is a very real, almost tangible factor. And so if Butler and the Heat can stay healthy, we could be in store for a really interesting NBA Finals. And so, yeah, that's sort of my look at that. And I do have some big plays going tonight, so you can check that out over at picksandparlays.net.
Absolutely. Don't forget to use that MLB code. Save you 20%. I have opinions about the Heat that they're like, they just wait almost to turn it on. They're a very playoff oriented team, I should say. Like they kind of, at times during the NBA season, I thought they were just dead in the water. And then they just turn it on like that. And
that's what the playoffs is all about.
The Lakers.
Yeah. Two teams that got healthy right at the end, made some key. Well, the Lakers made a key move during, right at the trade deadline. And tons of experience, obviously. Jimmy Butler, who sort of did nothing this whole didn't do nothing, but just had a mediocre regular season.
Yeah.
Then has played out of their head. I mean, Miami is now 9-2 against the spread in the playoffs, because also taking into account the play-in tournament. So, I mean, yeah, at some point you would expect some sort of a drop-off, taking out the Bucks the way they did, and so this could be the next time here, possibly. Yeah,
I will say this. There's some chatter here about the Nuggets in the chat and the Suns. I don't know how this series is 2-2. I'm just saying I don't believe in the Suns. I'm not a Phoenix Suns fan. I don't think I don't know how this is 2-2, but it is 2-2. I really thought the Nuggets were going to kind of manhandle them a little bit, especially with the deeper bench.
I think that's going to come into play in the next game for sure.
I think so for sure. I think as time goes on, those games 5, 6, and 7 of series, you're going to see the bench. You heard LeBron last night say, man, at the end of his interview, if you watch that game, he said, I got to go, man. I'm tired. He's like, I'm tired. And
the Suns have got to be tired at this point. I think the value has swung now the other way. Now that Denver has lost two straight, both straight up and against the spread, now heading back home. Yeah, I think the value has now swung the other way. And I would be inclined to take Denver the next 2 games. If they lose this next one, take them again in the next one after that.
I'm on the Warriors for the next foreseeable future, because I have this thing. I keep telling Tim Earl that they're gonna listen. It's a Disney storybook made for TV movie. Warriors, Lakers. They want game 7. They want a game 7.
Of course, absolutely.
And if we think of, I think it would be. I'm checking the calendar right now. It would be Sunday, if necessary. It would be the late Sunday game. Are you kidding me with the ratings, folks?
No, it's a perfect, as you say, textbook.
Right.
Sort of Hollywood.
It's made for TV movie. I mean, just start taking the Warriors right now. Game whatever the next game is, or game 5 and 6. I'm taking the Warriors. I can't. Now that being
said, for me, I'm steering clear of the side in that one. I think I'm going to focus on the total. I haven't come to but I'm with you. If you believe that these types of things happen, then how could you not?
I follow the Corgi on Twitter or whatever. There's a Corgi dog, and he sits on top of it. If everybody's ever seen him.
Oh, yes. I saw the
He's out everywhere. He does the Super Bowl picks. He does everything, right? And he's at the top of the staircase. He's throwing the ball, and it's Lakers. And he did it. And the Warriors 1-7. So me and Tim are like, trust the Corgi, Warriors in 7. So, that's just, That's just how we're going with that. I'm trusting the small dog to pick my NBA plays.
No, I think it's a pretty good call.
That's fair. How are we liking the ice nowadays?
Yeah. Well, the Insiders Room crew, we had the Golden Knights last night on the puck line. Of course, did not even need the extra goal and a half in that one because they laid the smackdown 5-1 on Monday night. Does Edmonton respond in Game 4 with a big victory? So that's on Wednesday. I mean, the money line is super steep. I'm not interested in laying in that at all, and I'm not really interested in laying the 1.5 goals either. In fact, I'd be more inclined to lay a little bit of juice and take the 1.5 goals with Vegas possibly on the puck line is sort of what I'm thinking about that one. And then, of course, the Leafs, unfortunately, my big futures bet there on them to win the Stanley Cup, that's now in jeopardy, going down 0-3. It's too big of a hole to climb out of ultimately, but I don't think I've quite given up on them yet. I may be on them in Game 4. So you got to check that out over at picksandparlays.net tomorrow. And then as far as tonight's game, we do have an NHL play up. It's a side play between Dallas and Seattle. So go over to Picks and
definitely check that out. I wish I would have been in that Discord, the Insiders Room Discord over there, and would have found out about that VGK play because my dumb ass was on Edmonton. I'm not even gonna lie. I was on Edmonton and it wasn't pretty. And I went to my daughter's choir concert last night, middle school, 7th grade choir concert. When I left, it was 1-0 Edmonton. I thought, okay, we're moving right along. And then I thought, as I was driving to the school, I thought, this is going to be all bad. And then I'm screwed. And then I got out of the choir concert, and it just
kept getting worse and worse.
And it was 5-1. And I checked my phone, 5-1. I'm like, oh, man, this is why I don't go to these things. But no.
Yeah, no, the Leafs remind me, the Oilers in the playoffs are very much like the Leafs. They can only get so far, and I don't know. These teams they would have the whole country backing them.
I know, right?
And they just can't seem to get it done in the playoffs. Well, the Leafs, I mean, they won a single series, but this has been, where's the offense gone for the Leafs? And I guess the same thing can be said for the Oilers.
Yeah. I'm on VGK to win the series, so I tried to just get a little bit intricate on game to game and take it. I thought it was an Edmonton spot.
Especially it looked like they had the momentum. They got that game 2 or whatever. So
yeah, I like them all together tonight though. I hate to say it, I like both dogs. I know one won't hit. I think one hits. I'm in the boat I'm just gonna say it, and I'm gonna piss off some people here, but I don't think the New Jersey Devils win another game.
Right. No, I think that's some pretty good value there as well. With both those teams. I mean, especially, like as we all know, the odds makers, all they're trying to do is split action down the middle, you know? And so when you see Dallas favored again here, coming off that loss, it just sort of shows that the public still doesn't quite know what to make of Seattle yet, and so they're already backing Dallas again as the favored team here, but really it's been Seattle that's sort of controlled that series and would have sort of offer the better value, you would think, getting plus money at home. Yeah, more of the public money on Dallas. And so.
Yeah, I will say this. I don't hate this Western Conference final right here. Vegas and the Kraken, the two newest teams in the West going at it. I wouldn't hate that at all. Tim, I told Tim Merrill's, Tim, the Devils don't win another game. I'm just saying. So I'm on Carolina for that series too. I like Kraken in that series. I like VGK, and I hate to say it, I was on the Leafs to beat Florida in the series, just series bets. But
yeah, well, Florida, it was one of the favorites to win out of the East before the season started this year, and then it fell flat, and everyone sort of wrote it off.
Yeah,
completely, and they wrote Florida off in each of these first two series, but clearly, it came together over the second half, and so there you go.
kind of like the Miami Heat. We talked about that. They're just geared for the playoffs. And who another team that is not in it anymore, but the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're another team that, they're one of those teams that just gear towards the playoffs. Florida Panthers,
Yes.
same thing. Just they're made for playoff hockey. So in the regular season, they're not gonna they might not be the best ever, but they're gonna coast to get in, and then it's a different season. So Tim Earl has faith that the Leafs can get it done in 7. But
as I say, I probably will be back on the Leafs tomorrow. But so yeah, keep your eyes open.
There you go. It's fair. What about baseball? You got anything go? I love today's baseball slate, and it's scary that I like it so much. I got a lot of baseball today.
Yeah, well, I mean, the great thing about the baseball season, Lenny, for handicappers is that it's a really long one. And there's so many chances and stretches throughout the regular season to make adjustments and get things on track. And with the dog days of summer now almost upon us, we're really looking forward to kicking our MLB program into top gear. And so I do have a strong lean on this one. And as I mentioned earlier, it sort of ties into some of what Ross was saying earlier. I think we have a really interesting matchup in Philadelphia as well. He was touching a lot on sort of the ineptitude of the home starter there, Nola, who hasn't been terrible. I mean, neither of these pitchers have lived up to expectations for sure. And I mean, they have been pedestrian, I think is a better way to describe their performances to this part. And so Ross talked a lot about, a sort of Nola there. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the ineptitude of Manoah here. And so after his unbelievable season last year, really, I felt coming into this year, there was only really one way that his performance could go. I mean, it was impossible to improve on that. And so he comes in just 1-2 with a 4.71 ERA. And so I think that Philadelphia is also going to have some chances here. It just snapped a 6-game slide with a 6-1 win over the Red Sox in their last game. And so, I mean, they're not going to be lacking for motivation here. I think that both teams are going to get runs, but I just think that Toronto will fade as the game goes on. That this game is going to be more into Philadelphia. I think that this line could, in fact, be a lot larger. And so I like Philadelphia here.
I don't hate that. I'm on the over. Because I don't trust either pitcher, to be honest with you. I just don't. And I look at them and I'm like, and either one of them could they're very capable. They could have a great game. They could give up, they could go 7 innings, no runs, nothing. Pitch a great game, either one of them. But it's a show me state right now for both of them, in my opinion. And I need them to show me that they can do that before. Once they do it, I will hop on that bandwagon and back the pitcher for the next 2-3 starts. But right now, I think both these teams can hit. That's why my favorite bet of that game is just the over. Ross
I like that as well. I think that's a good call. Yeah.
Ross had mentioned the team total for the Blue Jays, and I like that too. I wouldn't be opposed, but for me, sometimes I'm like,
we can all win this. We can all win this wager.
We can all win this way. Yeah, we can all win this thing, and I think it kind of goes over. So I do like that. I'm on the Tigers. Don't tell anybody, but I'm on the Tigers.
I mean,
I am. They've been on a little bit of a roll. They'll probably lose today because I'm actually betting with them instead of against them, breaking the trend. I've been betting against them all year. All year I've been betting against them, and they've been
Michael Lorenzen versus Shane Bieber.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of I'm just not a fan of this Tigers pitching staff at all. And they have pitched decent so far this year. They've made improvement. Now, going into this year, their win total was at 69.5. If you would have gave it to me at 64.5, I would have took the under. I don't like them to win that many games. Now, there's 2 games out of 500 or off of 500, 16 and 18, and they're 2.5 games out of first place. I know there's so much baseball left that we should not be talking about that. But
Ross made another good point, just how weak that division is anyways. Yeah. So whoever can be the least horrible is going to win.
That division is horrible. Tim Earl says he's against you and he doesn't like it because he's on Toronto money line. He's like, yikes. That's fine. It happens. Listen, just go over it. And Philly wins, and we don't. Tim, you're gonna lose today. I'm sorry. What else we got going on today? Anything else you like? Anywhere in the sports world today?
Well, my client plays are up at picksandparlays.net. And so if you're interested in getting any more, that would be the place to find it.
Absolutely. Don't forget, use the Picks and Parlays promo code over there on the site. MLB, save you 20% off the entire site. You're looking for the insiders room over there. That's it's that guy right there. I know the insiders room. He's that guy. Plus a few other guys that are all right too. I will say this. You guys got a hell of a team going on over there. And we appreciate you guys always coming on. Nick Parsons, I will see you on next week's show. As always, thank you, my friend. And we're going to bounce on out of here, you guys. Good luck. Unless you're against us, we'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern.